Hello, Dinnerwithewuradwoa family. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, so today we're making Ghana butter bread, or what my Nigerian friends call Agege bread. Oh yes, and I just cannot wait. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share. Let's get started. Okay, so these are the ingredients that we need. Of course, our flour, butter, sugar, everything. We need our measuring cups to measure. Make sure we get accurate measurements. If you don't have it, you have the scale, you can equally use that. All the amount or quantities or measurements you need will be in the description box, so please look out for it. Okay, let's get started. So we will first of all, I'm using 6 cups of flour today. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna sift the flour to make sure that there are no lumps or anything. We just want to make sure we're working with this nice and fluffy smooth loose flour. So yeah, in order to get that, just make sure you sift it. And to make sure that you're getting your actual 6 cups, you can just use a knife to level it, the other side of the knife, not the sharp bit. Make sure you level it so you get the exact cup size. Baking, like we say, is a science. If you miss it, something might go wrong somewhere. So just make sure that, you get your measurements right. So once I'm done with the flour, so we're gonna be obviously dealing with our dry ingredients first of all. So we put in our salt to the side. I've put the salt to the very far side because I don't want it coming into contact with the yeast, because salt kills yeast. So salt on the far side, and we put yeast on the other side. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my sugar onto the yeast, because yeast and sugar are best friends. Sugar helps activate yeast very well. So we put our sugar on top of the yeast, and then we're gonna add our nutmeg. That's my choice of flavor. You can use whatever flavor you want. You can go for your cinnamon, any flavoring that you want. I prefer the nutmeg because we're making the Ghana butter bread, and it smells so lovely with the nutmeg. Okay, so then I mix everything together. You saw how I did the mixing. I mixed the salt separately together with the flour on the other side, and then the sugar and yeast on the other side, before I actually join everything together. So once I'm done with my dry ingredients, I'm moving on to my wet ingredients. So I'm doing these separately, guys. I followed Nanabe's recipe, butter bread recipe with this one. I really enjoyed that video. That's why I'm replicating it today. So look out for that video. It's really, really good. Thank you, Nanaba. You're doing a very good job. God bless you. Okay, so once we're done with this, so I put my egg into my milk. That's the evaporated milk. And then my vanilla essence as well. And then you just bring it to a whisk. And of course, I'm going to add my water in here as well. I think it makes it way easier. Okay, so now I've turned my mixer on, and what I'm gonna do is I'll gradually pour my wet ingredients, just bit by bit. And then now our dough is just gonna start to form. And make sure that your egg, water, milk are all room temperature. Okay, it's very important that we make sure it's all room temperature. So you can see that I didn't add my butter from the beginning. So once the dough is formed and it begins to lift off the sides, then we add our butter. Why are we doing it this way? We're adding the butter later because most of the time the butter tends to break down the gluten. So we make sure that our gluten was formed before we added the butter, just to make sure that we don't kill that all-important gluten that we need. The most important, yeah. Okay. So you can tell the dough at this point, nice and stretchy. It's just what I'm looking for. So I'll just get my worktop ready. What I'm doing is I've put just a bit of oil onto my work surface just to make sure my dough don't stick to it. Only a little bit. You might not need it at all, but I just want to make sure that it don't stick onto my work surface. And we're just gonna knead. So most of the kneading has already been done with our mixer. So all we're doing is just a little bit of kneading just to make sure our dough is nice and well formed. Round about maybe 3 to 4 minutes. Not much. I think this is therapeutic. I love it. I just love doing this, you know. Every time I've made my bread, I just enjoy this bit. So what we're going to do then, we placing our dough back into our mixing bowl and let it rise only for 10 minutes. Why 10 minutes? Because we're using bread flour. And bread flour already has all that important protein in it, so we don't need to double rise. So that is the only reason why we're only going to let this rise for 10 minutes. And then we go back to it. So whilst I'm waiting, I'm just gonna prep my baking tin. So this mold is actually 580 grams. Yeah, 580 grams. So it's not the 1000 grams one. It's not the bigger one. It's only 580. And I love it. I love it. I've tried butter bread like 3 times now, and every time I've done it, I just love the shape, everything, the way it comes out, amazing. I just couldn't wait to share. Yeah, so we just make sure our pan is nicely greased, ready for our bread. So it's been 10 minutes now, and you can tell our dough has already risen. So again, we only just gonna knead a little bit. So once you start noticing that it's resisting you, it's all done. Just about 2 minutes, not too much. Now we're going to form our log. So what you want to do is to hold both sides and form this towards you. You'll be forming something like a seam. Yeah, push it all together and then turn it on the other side. So the seam just needs to be underneath when you're placing it inside your baking tin. And also make sure that you don't mess up the grease, and other than that, when you're done, your bread will be stuck inside. And then what we're gonna be doing here is that we are going to proof this for 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon the temperature that you currently have. It's really cold. It's winter time and it's very cold over here, but all my heaters have been on since morning. At the moment I'm looking around about 23 degrees, so it's fairly okay for me. So I just left it on my worktop to rise. And then what I'm doing with the other half is we're gonna make this into mini loaves. I love my mini loaves. And again, we're doing the same with this one, proofing for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Yeah, and then 1 hour later, ta-da! Our dough is risen. Look at that. This is like the magical bit, you know, you come back and realize, oh, it's all nice and risen. Perfect. So it goes in the oven. Make sure that you have some water in the oven just to make sure the bread is moist whilst baking. You want it nice and fluffy. Okay, you can tell it's all done now. Amazing. So in total, I baked my bread for 1 hour. It's been in the oven for 1 hour. Okay, so moment of truth now. And perfect. I simply love this mold. Look at that. Neatly baked. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a try. Bake it. Let me know what you think. Okay, comment down below. And the following day, again, just couldn't wait. We went deep down into it and I thought it settled, so let me just show you. See how nice and soft this is. And of course our loaves as well, beautifully baked. Let's have a look. Oh my God, that's the best bit. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe and share. See you in my next video.